Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brooke Battle, and it's about 1 minute until our start time. Welcome to Just One Thing from Swell. Today, we'll be talking about how to edit emails. I think our all of all of our attendees are beginning to log in, and so we just wanted to say welcome to you. I know many of you personally over the years, so it's great to see you virtually today. So. Um, Also wanted to remind that this is recorded, so we will be posting these recordings both on our help desk, and you'll be receiving it following. Jenny Vance, who's also on the call today, does a great job of making sure all of this information stays front and center. So with that, I just want to say welcome to Just One Thing. Today we'll be covering how to customize emails in the Swell editor and why it's so important. Before we get started, I did want to go through a little bit about Sessions, this platform that we're using. It's a new platform, but we like a lot of things about it, and we also love to try new technology. So I'm going to go a little bit through this program called Sessions, just so that you know how to maneuver it. The first thing is that on the left of your screen, you'll see down here, it says Show Agenda. And if you'll click that, it'll show our agenda as well as, resources and slides and things that we're utilizing today. We really like the agenda setting here in Sessions. So that's on your left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see a Q&A button. So as I'm talking today, feel free to post questions there. Also, you guys all know Swell fairly well. You can answer as well. But we will answer those questions. I'll answer them both verbally. Jeannie Vance is on here as well to answer. So click that Q&A if you have a question at any point during this. Even if I answer it later, that is awesome. That's the next thing. And then emojis, just because while we're here, let's have a little fun. So in the very bottom of your screen, there's a hand. If you click that, you have several options. So feel free to just say hello with an emoji. It'd be nice to see you out there. And then you also have a notes function. Hey, Jenny, thanks for the wave. Thanks, Robin. You can also take notes. So here on the right-hand side, there is a notes section. And so you can take notes there, and these are only really for you. So I think that's really important that those notes are for you to take. Again, we'll have this recording following. And then finally, you have an exit or leave button here. And so if you leave, we would hate that, but it won't close the session for all of us. So don't worry about that. So feel free if you need to exit for any reason, just click that arrow down at the very bottom of the screen. And so with that, we will get started. We have this slide, just who we are, who is Swell, and I hope all of you know the answer to that. This has been we've changed up recently and enhanced how we're offering these programs to our clients in order to get more information in your hand. But most importantly, we always want to remind you that when Swell started 12 years ago, we were in your shoes. And so a lot about how we're designed, how we function, how we think, how we care is because we started in your shoes, working with nonprofits, working at a nonprofit, doing events. And this really grew from our work in your shoes. So sometimes I warn people, I say, be careful, you might end up starting a software company if you get too desperate. So that's who we are. And you can always reach us at support@swellfundraising.com. And so with that, I'm going to just dig into our email editor and why we're here today. And one thing I wanted to say is we do try to keep these short so that you feel like you can jump into these and jump back into your day really quickly. So we'll go through this information pretty quickly. But I did want to talk about why we're here. And the important thing is that you guys send a lot of emails out, I know, probably through your donor database systems. There are lots of ways you communicate with your constituents. But one thing that became apparent to us a few years ago, and you probably started to hear us talk about, are our emails that go out from Swell.
Because the open rate on the open rate on the emails coming out from Swell is 81%. That is the current rate from the last month. And we've seen that rate steadily climb. The click-through rates are high if there is a clickable link in it. So the point is, though, that your guests, your donors, your constituents, at least the ones that are coming through a Swell event, are opening these emails. So we want you to help put content in front of them that really matters. And so I'm going to talk about, first of all, the information that matters to your event that's in those emails. But I always, in addition to that, want you to think about, in addition to the email, in addition to the information that can go in a ticket email or a receipt that your donor or guest needs, there's no reason not to put other information in there as well, which I'll get to at the end. But I love for you to help think strategically about these emails. But for now, we're going to get just to the basics. So there are, if you can believe it, 19 possible emails that can come out from the Swell system, depending on the features and the different things that you have turned on. I'll show you that. As you turn on and use different things in Swell, different emails pop up in the email editor, depending on what you need. So the ones that we're going to go through today are the ticket email. We have both an in-person and a virtual ticket email. The receipts, there are 3 receipts: tickets, tables, and donations. Actually, and sponsorship, 4, I forgot one. There's the reminder email. This has become a really useful email for clients to just very easily blast information to their guests. The welcome email. This is the email that a guest gets when they come in the door if they're checked in on our check-in app. That's a very strategic email, or it can be. There are a lot of emails that are associated with the table and team function. The table team host email, the invitation to guest emails, to the host and guest if they decline. Another one is the comp ticket email is the often overlooked, but also the most hacked. Not meaning it's not a violation of our software. We're the most used in ways unintended by us in kind of creative ways. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And then the pledge email, also one that needs to be edited if it's used. The pledge process is not the most used feature in our system, but when it is, I did want to alert you to these emails. So we're going to go through these right now, and I'm going to go live to our to the email editor, and let's talk about how to edit these emails in real time. I'm going to pull up the dashboard, which I hope you're all very familiar with. This is just a test event, and so at this point in the process, I would have clicked into Swell, clicked into the event that I'm working on, and come here to email editor. And at this point, I've turned everything on, so you can see all of these emails or possible emails that an event can use if needed. See, there's that sponsorship receipt that I forgot earlier. So the first one I want to go into to show you how to edit is the ticket email, because that is where all events usually start, is with ticketing. And this is the default. As I said, with default language. Default language is exactly that. It's very generic, and so we really encourage you to edit these emails. I'd love to tell you that I think that they're ideal the way they are. They are fine in every sense of that word. I think it reflects well on you and your brand, and just such a great opportunity to put guest information in at work here. So the first thing I want to do is hit the subject line here. Right now it said, here's your ticket to, and this is a great opportunity to show you the merge tag. All of these bullet buttons down below are tags from the system. So I'm going to say event name right here. So here's your ticket to event name. That event name is coming from the event name in setup right here. The next thing here in the ticket email is you don't have to always attach a ticket to the ticket email. There are many of you that use our system for registrations. Maybe it's an RSVP process, but something where the ticket itself isn't really the nature of the event that you want. And so you can turn this off, and then it doesn't attach a ticket to the event. So I think that's important to know. I'm going to turn it back on just so you have it. Here it defaults to just the fundraiser first name, which is the attendee first name. I know you know in Swell, we consider every attendee a possible fundraiser. We think everybody has the possibility of being a fundraiser for you. And so we call our attendees fundraisers. So this is the fundraiser first name. I personally actually like to make this a little smaller. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to make this, this is a heading setting. And so this is how you can change the format. I'm going to come down and change it to a paragraph style. And I also think it's really nice to add the last name here. So I'm going to go down and add fundraiser last name. This is particularly helpful if you have an event where you do a lot of offline ticketing and you may do Brook Battle and guest of Brook Battle. And so if you only have first name here, the first name would say guest of Brook, comma, as opposed to guest of Brook Battle. So I think sometimes this is a good way of kind of catching some of the things you might enter manually. So you're confirmed to attend, event name, your ticket is attached. Here's a ticket code. Some clients delete that. The ticket code is very helpful for a hybrid event or for virtual events. And so that's why we put it there. That code helps you automatically log into a virtual event. And it also is a point of reference, a check-in as well if needed. And we'll see you on event date. We automatically include in the ticket the fundraising link because Swell is at its core a peer-to-peer platform. And so we do, again, love for you to be able to put this in the hands of any guest because sometimes you don't know who receives this organically and uses it. But you can also edit this information, and I'm going to click over. You won't be able to see when I click over really fast, but I've just put so often when you're updating information like this, you have it in a Google Doc. So I have a Google document here, and I'm just copying over some ticket, like what I want the ticket email to look like. So I'm over here in my Google Doc. I've copied it, and I'm coming back over here into my editor. So I'm going to take this out for now. I'm going to copy this in here. And so I copied this from the Google Doc, and I'm saying and then this is the ticket product name, which can come from down here. Yeah, ticket parent product name right here. And that means that's nice if you have VIP tickets, sponsor tickets, and different levels of tickets, which can be very important sometimes, particularly if there's a reception like this event has. And so this is saying your VIP ticket is attached to this email. We're giving them information about when that reception starts, when their table assignments will go out, who to call, who to email if they have trouble. This is also a really good place to put parking information, and then always just hit save to do that. And so those are the types of information that go in tickets: the ticket product name, the amount, the number of tickets that they have, where they need to go, where they need to be, the attire, just as much as you can put in there for your client as possible, your guest as possible. The next one that I want to hit is the donation receipt. That's also one of the most important emails in our system. I'm going to go here into the edit function. And again, this is a very, very generic, very generic email. I'm going to come in, I'm going to make this a little smaller, like I always do. I'm going to add last name. And in this case, it's different than fundraiser first name. You'll notice here it's transaction first name because sometimes the person purchasing may be different than the person that they registered to get the ticket. So the transaction first name is in fact different than the fundraiser first name. And so I'm going to go in here and also click last name for the transaction last name to come in. Thank you for supporting event name. This is where you could also put in event beneficiary. So if you put event beneficiary, that's going to be your name, the nonprofit. Thank you for supporting event name, benefiting your name, nonprofit. This is your receipt confirming your donation of, and this would be the total amount of the donation coming in. But a lot of our clients like to add a lot more, and at a minimum, come down here. So a lot of our emails you click on the body of the email here to edit to the right, but now I want to click on this and edit it. So I'm going to click here to pop up this window in order for me to edit that. I've copied a little bit of information over on my Google documents to help save time today. And so I want to do that right now and find our donation information. And so this is just a little example of information that you might want to put in the footer of your of your donation receipt. I'm going to go ahead and copy that in here. And so this is where in the footer, you can go ahead and give them gift information. You can put the amount, which is the transaction amount, the date and the transaction date. Some people go ahead and say the value of benefits. And in this case, it's a donation receipt, so it's going to be 0. And then this is their tax language at the bottom because this was an online campaign. And so this is where you can put, that they've received no goods or services, the name of the nonprofit, and the tax ID of the organization here. And again, I can hit save. And this is now the receipt that would go out from every transaction, every donation that comes in through the system. What's nice at this point that I want to give you guys, it's easy to forget, is I might want to take this same footer and put it on my ticket receipt, but obviously change it up a little bit. So I'm going to come here to my ticket receipt, and I'm going to come down to the bottom. I'm going to paste that same information. But here I'm going to say the value of the benefits are, let's say, $50 per ticket. Obviously, you would want to change this language and get rid of the no goods or services piece, and edit this so that worked for your tax deductible language, and hit save. And now your ticket receipt has good information on it as well. So I do think it's nice to do these footers all at the same time while you're thinking about it, both for a sponsorship receipt if you're using the sponsor product, and the table receipt if you have tables and teams in the system. So. And the next, and probably I think one of the most useful after ticket email and donation, is the in-person reminder email. This in-person reminder email can go out to your guests at any point. It just automatically, when you hit send here, it does give you a little warning. When you hit send and click the "Are you sure" button, then you are sending this email to all of your registered guests. When we're talking with a client and actually helping them, really understand table seating, table ticketing, and these other features, how to get people to pre-register their guests, all of it is so that you have all of their names, right? And so when you have all of those names in the system, it really facilitates your pre-event reminder emails. And so here you might want to say, information about the upcoming gala. Or you might want to even say something really specific, like parking information about the upcoming gala, if it's that specific. Here you can put all of that information. I've done a little sample here so that I can show you a good sample email. I'm going to go copy that right now and show you some elements of a typical reminder email. So here I'm just going to copy in what I have. And a lot of this does come in a copy form. Like one person sends you all the parking information. You copy it and put it here in this email. It copied over with a few more spaces than I like. So, I'll come in and delete those. I'm sure you guys have done that in our system before. But here is the email. Dear first name, last name, today is the day. We look forward to seeing you at event name, event venue. There's still time. This group was doing an early check-in process. So they're giving information about how to come and check in early and advice about getting into this event on time, where the check-ins are. This is what I really wanted to point out is some of our tabled events like to go ahead and provide the table number to the guests before the event starts. And so here you can tell them you are seated at table number and then just insert table number. I think it's really nice here also. I'm going to use format and I'm going to change this, or you could highlight it even. So I might want to make this bigger. I might want to highlight it a little bit. Let's go and scroll down here into getting to some of my colors. Let's make it, although I don't know if I've ever used yellow in one, but we've made it yellow and highlighted. So you are seated at the following table number, and it'll put the table number. If each table had a host, you could even go in and put the table host right here as well as information about their ticket product and everything. So so that's nice information for a guest to know if you're ready to give it to them. I do love this know before you go kind of information. So here's all information about parking, event rates, shared ride services. So if you're able to get a discount on Uber or Lyft, you can give them put a clickable link right here. You highlight it and come back to the top, insert that link, and you could put the link right here to an Uber discount for them as well. So this is just a really, really strong reminder email with lots of information in it. As you do it, you just click save, and when it's ready, hit send, and you can send this out multiple times pre-event. You also can preview it. All of our, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that for the first time now. All of our emails you can send to yourself in a preview. So I'm going to send that preview. When you send a preview to yourself, one thing that's important to know is that it's not able to pull real information. Like, this isn't pulling from an actual ticket or an actual person. So some of this will come through as Dear John Smith, like language, because it's not going to have a table number to pull, because it's not actually pulling from any registrant here. It's just a preview. So sometimes you'll see in the merge tags something come through that you think, I don't have a 1004 table number. And that's why. So I want to make sure you know that. So another important component here is the email header. I think everyone knows that because it goes really into branding, but if for any reason you need to change the email header that goes out from the event, that's back here in your branding section. So this email header is coming from right here in the email header section. So if you need to change that, you can just browse and upload another 550 by 135 JPEG file. I'm going to go back to sessions really fast and see if we have any questions. And right now we don't. Okay. Listening intently, I guess, huh? So I'm going to go back in here then, and I want to show you the comp ticket email. Probably because this is the one that gets used in the most varied way in the system. All the others are very typical, ticket, reminder, donation receipts, and all. But this next one, because the complimentary ticket email is the email that is sent when you set up a comp ticket link here. A comp ticket link is, in fact, just a link to, like right here, I've provided Brick Battle, who I've given it this code, 15 VIP sponsor tickets. And this link, I'm going to share the tab, and it goes to this link where they can come in and claim 15 tickets. And so this is the email that goes out automatically, or if you send it with that link in it. The language in that email treats, I'm going to go back here, the language in the comp ticket email treats the comp tickets like it's a sponsor, because it was initially designed thinking of sponsor tickets. That's how that comp code process was designed, was thinking of how a company gets 15 tickets to an event. There's a point of contact at the company, and that person usually sends an email out and says, hey, we have 15 tickets to the upcoming chili cook-off. Come by my office if you want to go. And instead of coming by the office, they can say, click this link to claim a ticket, and there are only 15 tickets there. So it's meant to mimic that activity. But I say all that to say, this isn't always going to sponsors. This email probably goes to the most varied group and an ill-defined group of people now, in addition to sponsors. So, but promotion, first name, last name. I don't know if I can come in here and put in last name. I can find it. It's not in there. Or I'm just not seeing it. Oh, there it is. So again, you can tell I have a real propensity for first name, last name. So this goes to the point of contact that you set up in the comp code. So that might not be somebody even coming to your event, but that's just the point of contact. We can't wait to see you soon at event name, because we appreciate you. So here is a link to redeem your, in this case, we said 15 complimentary tickets. But here we could add 15, I could say product nut type, VIP complimentary tickets, because this could then have a product name, which is sometimes nice for them to know. But this is all, and then right here is the section where it's automatically pulling in a button to the link, where they can go to that link to get the tickets. And then down here, we have instructions. So if this link is for you, if this is for a group, and we give them some instructions on how to use this link. But that said, this process has also been used as an invitation. For example, we've had clients come in and make this sound like an invitation, like you're invited to attend our community partners, update meeting. And maybe the whole event is free and you're not even really using the ticket function on the front end of Swell. And you can come in here and make this sound like an invitation. And you can put 2 tickets beside all of your guest names, create links for them, and this becomes like an RSVP process. So RSVP below, they click the link and they can enter their tickets there and get their tickets and register themselves as guests for your event. And so this gets used again a lot in those ways, which is different than just a sponsor. So I would say this is an email to be careful of. Sometimes these go to volunteers, sometimes the code's going to your staff. And so this is an email that when those comp codes are in use, gets adapted quite a bit. So, but always hit save. Always feel free to send yourself a preview so that you can check it. And at this time, I'm actually going to go and show you. I'm going to share this link to this. So like that pre-event reminder email that I created. This is the preview that it sent me. Today is the day. We look forward to seeing you. It's populating all that information. Highlighted table 1005 here. And when I look at this, I think, I probably should have added some formatting here, tabbed this in a little bit, maybe highlighted those in bold. So I do think it's important to try to add some variability here. This obviously would have been a hyperlink in a real event. So but that's a really good way to always, check your work before sending. So are there any questions? Maybe. So great question. We have a question about would the complimentary ticket function work for a golf tournament? The comp ticket function works for any event, but for a golf tournament, most of our golf tournaments function as teams. And so I would send out, so most of them function as golf teams. If you think of it, we use the word table a lot here, but the reason it says tables and teams is because a golf team is really like a table of 4, if you think about it. So in fact, I can jump out really fast and go to a golf event here, just because I'm in a test account. And we can see a golf team. And so in this golf team that you can see here, I would create that golf team and then put the point of contact here. If that person is golfing, I would check the box and hit save and send. And that would send the golfer their ticket to your event, but it would also send them the team host email. And so that's going to send that golf captain this email. And so I would email this email to say, dear golf captain, or dear first name, last name, thank you for being a captain of a golf team at our upcoming event. And the email that I would use would be what we call the table team host email, because they're hosting your team. And then this sends them a link to fill in the other 3 players on their team. So that's what I would do there. The comp link is really important when you just have a lot of loose tickets. So this would be the case if you have, like I was talking to a group yesterday, and they have a lot of volunteers that help them with check-in at their big gala event. Those volunteers won't all be seated at the same tables. They're going to be scattered around the room. And so it's really nice to go ahead and issue those tickets, those 20 tickets in the system through a comp link. So you already have the data and already have the tickets showing in your system, and then you can go and fill them in. So if your golf event has, like maybe you have a golf sponsorship that only has 2 tickets, so it's not a full team, or you have some loose tickets that you want to be able to place on different teams, then I would use your comp link. But most golf events use this table team link and then the table team host email. So that is a great question. That is awesome. Thank you for asking that. Great distinction. Great distinction. So, and I hope when I go back to the sessions, give me a thumbs up to let me know. I hope that answered the question, Nicole. Adrian, how likely is it that the reminder email will go to spam or junk? But we really worked hard to ensure a high deliverability rate. And there's always a chance something goes into spam or junk. But we've been watching that open rate that I mentioned earlier. In the open rate on our emails right now is 81%. So that's not it shows us a deliverability rate of like 99.9%. I don't really watch the 99.9% deliverability rate for the reason you just brought up, right? Because delivered to a spam or junk folder doesn't really help us a lot. But we do watch that open rate, and so again, it can always happen, but we try to. But we do think the deliverability is high given the high open rate of 81%. So that's a great question. So we're proud of that. Part of that's from being around for a long time. So that did, though, bring up, we do provide, at different license levels, DNS customization so that these emails can come from your email address instead of our email address. But again, at the open rate that we're at right now, I think it's pretty good. So we're happy about that. But thanks. But it will happen. I'm not going to deny that it's going to happen. Particularly banks or financial institutions, things like that can be a little difficult. So, really good question. Other questions coming through? Okay. With that, I want to go back to the email editor and just make sure I covered everything. There's one more I did want to cover because I'm right up at my time, and it's just this pledge creation email. Mainly because this pledge creation email is often, if pledges are turned on, this turns on if the pledge function is turned on the donation page. Pledge functions are generally used at events where you're expecting kind of a higher numbers, right? Where somebody might want to pledge more than they want to put on a credit card. This automatically sends a link where they can fulfill the pledge, and we can track pledge fulfillment through this, which is nice. But I think it's really nice to add language here about you following up with them, making a comment here about if you wish to make this gift through stock transfer or a DAF, just recognizing that your audience on this may be some of your highest net worth or major gift types of donors. And so therefore, I think it's a really good one to customize if you have pledge turned on. So I think it's nice to put your contact information here as a development officer if you have the pledge function turned on. So I just really wanted to highlight that for you. Again, ours is fine. Your information is better. And with that, I want to get back to showing you a little bit about resources. If you look to the left in the agenda, I have put in here a blog post, which are ideas to leverage your event emails. So today I've talked a lot about what I would consider the basic of what, how to edit it, looking at the merge tags, and how to preview and what to put in these emails. But you can always add your own information here. So I'd love it to see, if you have another event coming up, put the link there for that event. If you have some research you want to share, volunteer opportunities, keep in mind, like the donation receipt, the ticket email, they don't have to be a dead end. They are a beginning. And so you can put other information in here that I think invites your guests to do more and engage with you in other aspects of your work. So add your own links and your own information in here so they can continue to click. So that blog post is here in resources. Also, the support article, how to edit emails in the email editor, is here. I did want to review why it's worth customizing your emails. That's because the open rate is so high. But the third point that was really important here is, thank goodness your work can be saved from year to year. So as you're editing these emails, we do encourage the use of merge tags for the following reason, and that's because we clone these events from year to year, as many of you know, and the work that you do today will come forward with you tomorrow. So as you customize these emails and put in your tax ID, that information will come forward with you from year to year as we copy and clone these events. And then last, what's next? We have the next Just One Thing is coming up on March 13th, and it's using QR codes with the leaderboards. There's sort of some in-event activations that we love to see. Let me hit that. I think there's a slide or a picture to show you with this. Let me try that. Oh, good, I got it to work. Sorry. So this is what's next coming up March 13th, using QR codes and the leaderboard to create a really great in-event activation. We've had some really neat things like that go on. March 27th is about checking in guests, how to be a check-in hero using the check-in app and some tips there. And then last, always how to get help from us. We have office hours every Wednesday from 2 to 4. So just following this. And that's when you can jump in, and we're online from 2 to 4 each Wednesday. Always click on Help Desk in the dashboard and then email us at support@swellfundraising.com. So, and with that, any more questions? We'll also be posting this recording for you and all the others who couldn't attend today. Thank you so much. Keep fundraising.